Welcome to my channel. Am I the only one that didn't know how widespread loneliness is? It's a word we often whisper, afraid to say it out loud. It's a feeling that many of us try to hide, fearing the stigma that comes with it. But the truth is, loneliness is a feeling that touches millions of lives. It's a silent epidemic that knows no boundaries. It's that deep ache in your heart, that longing for connection. It's the quiet moments when you feel invisible, even to yourself. Loneliness is not about being alone. It's about feeling alone, even in a room full of people. It's the sense of isolation that can creep in, uninvited and unannounced. It's about feeling alone, even when surrounded by people. It's the disconnect that can happen in the midst of laughter and conversation. Loneliness is a universal human experience. It's something that everyone at some point will encounter. It's a shared part of our humanity. It's that feeling of emptiness, of being disconnected from others. It's the void that can feel impossible to fill. It's the sense that something is missing in your life, even if you can't quite put your finger on it. It's the nagging feeling that there should be more. We all experience loneliness at some point in our lives. It's a natural part of the human condition, a reminder of our need for connection. It's a normal part of the human condition. But when it lingers, it can become something more, something that affects every aspect of our lives. But when loneliness becomes chronic, it can have a devastating impact on our lives. It can seep into our daily routines, making even the simplest tasks feel insurmountable. It can affect our mental health, our physical health, and even our lifespan. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be as harmful as smoking or obesity. In a world that's more connected than ever before, it's ironic that so many of us feel so alone. Social media, while connecting us in some ways, can also amplify feelings of isolation. We see it all around us. The signs are there, in the people we pass by every day. The elderly neighbor who never gets a visitor. The loneliness of aging can be profound as social circles shrink and mobility decreases. The single mother struggling to make ends meet. The weight of responsibility can be isolating, leaving little room for personal connections. The teenager glued to their phone, desperate for a sense of belonging. Loneliness doesn't discriminate. It can strike anyone, at any time. It affects people of all ages, races, and socioeconomic backgrounds. It's a reminder that no one is immune to the feeling of being alone, but there is hope. Understanding loneliness is the first step towards addressing it. By acknowledging it, we can begin to find ways to reconnect. Building strong, supportive communities can help. Reaching out to others, even in small ways, can make a big difference. Sometimes all it takes is a simple gesture, a kind word, or a listening ear to help someone feel less alone. Self-reflection and self-care are also important. Taking time to understand our own needs and seeking help when necessary can pave the way to healing. There are resources available, from support groups to therapy, that can provide the connection and understanding we need. Remember, loneliness is a part of being human, but it doesn't have to define us. Together, we can find ways to bridge the gaps and create a more connected world. Loneliness is not just a personal problem, it's a global epidemic. It affects people of all ages, backgrounds, and cultures, transcending geographical boundaries and social strata. Studies show that millions of people around the world are struggling with loneliness. This issue is not confined to any one region or demographic. It is a universal challenge that many face daily. In fact, some estimates suggest that as many as 1 in 3 adults experience loneliness at any given time. These numbers are staggering and highlight the widespread nature of this issue. Loneliness can affect anyone, regardless of their social or economic status. They paint a picture of a world where isolation and disconnection are becoming increasingly common. In our modern, fast-paced world, it's easy to feel like just another face in the crowd, unnoticed and unconnected. But behind these statistics are real people, each with their own story of loneliness. Each person's experience is unique, shaped by their personal circumstances and the specific challenges they face. The causes of this loneliness epidemic are complex and multifaceted. They include a range of factors, from societal changes to personal circumstances. Understanding these causes is crucial to addressing the problem effectively. We live in a fast-paced, individualistic society where people are constantly on the move. This constant motion can make it difficult to form and maintain meaningful connections with others. Technology, while intended to connect us, can sometimes have the opposite effect, leading to social isolation and a sense of disconnect. Social media and digital communication can create an illusion of connection, but often lack the depth and intimacy of face-to-face interactions. The breakdown of traditional social structures such as family and community has also contributed to the rise of loneliness. As these structures weaken, people find themselves with fewer support systems and social networks to rely on. As people become more geographically mobile and less connected to their roots, it's easier to feel lost and alone in the crowd. The transient nature of modern life can make it challenging to build lasting relationships and a sense of belonging. While loneliness affects both men and women, research suggests there may be differences in how they experience and cope with it. Stereotypically, men are often expected to be stoic and self-reliant, discouraged from expressing vulnerability or seeking help. This societal pressure can make it difficult for men to acknowledge their feelings of loneliness, let alone reach out for support. They may suffer in silence, feeling ashamed or embarrassed to admit they're struggling. Women, on the other hand, are often more comfortable expressing their emotions and seeking social support. They may be more likely to talk about their feelings of loneliness with friends, family, or a therapist. However, this doesn't mean women are immune to the negative effects of loneliness. In fact, some studies suggest that women may be more likely to experience loneliness-related depression and anxiety. It's important to recognize that both men and women can benefit from support systems and open conversations about their feelings. Encouraging open dialogue and breaking down societal barriers can help both genders cope more effectively with loneliness. Participating in activities that foster social connections, such as group sports or community events, can be beneficial for everyone. Additionally, self-care practices like meditation, journaling, or even seeking professional help can play a crucial role in managing loneliness. Ultimately, understanding and addressing the unique ways in which men and women experience loneliness can lead to more effective support and healthier, more connected lives for all. Section 4. The age factor. Loneliness in young and old. Loneliness can strike at any age, from childhood to old age. However, certain age groups may be particularly vulnerable to its effects.
Young people, for example, are navigating a time of significant social and emotional development. Peer pressure, social media comparisons, and the search for identity can all contribute to feelings of loneliness and isolation during adolescence and young adulthood.
On the other end of the spectrum, seniors are also at increased risk for loneliness. Retirement, the loss of loved ones, declining health, and limited mobility can all lead to social isolation and loneliness in later life.
Section 5. Loneliness knows no boundaries. Impact across demographics. It's important to remember that loneliness doesn't discriminate. It affects people of all income levels, races, religions, and other demographics. While certain groups may face unique challenges, the underlying experience of loneliness is universal. For example, individuals from marginalized communities may experience loneliness as a result of discrimination, social exclusion, or lack of access to support networks. Economic hardship can also contribute to social isolation, as people may struggle to afford social activities or transportation. Regardless of background or circumstance, loneliness can have a profound impact on an individual's well-being. It's essential to approach this issue with empathy and understanding, recognizing that everyone's experience of loneliness is unique. Section 6. Trapped in isolation, persistent versus temporary loneliness. Loneliness can be a fleeting emotion, a temporary feeling of isolation that passes with time. We've all experienced those moments when we feel disconnected or out of sync with the world around us. But for some, loneliness becomes a chronic condition, a persistent feeling of emptiness and isolation that lingers for weeks, months, or even years. This chronic loneliness can have a devastating impact on a person's life, affecting their mental health, physical health, and overall well-being. It's important to distinguish between these different forms of loneliness. Temporary loneliness is a normal part of life, often triggered by specific events or circumstances. Chronic loneliness, on the other hand, is a more serious condition that requires attention and support. Section 7. The high cost of loneliness, mental, emotional, and physical health. The impact of loneliness extends far beyond just feeling sad or alone. It can have serious consequences for both our mental and physical health. Studies have linked loneliness to a wide range of health problems, including depression, anxiety, heart disease, stroke, and even premature death. When we feel lonely, our bodies go into a state of stress. This chronic stress can weaken our immune system, making us more susceptible to illness. It can also lead to inflammation throughout the body, which is a risk factor for many chronic diseases. The emotional toll of loneliness is equally significant. Loneliness can lead to feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and despair. It can make it difficult to concentrate, sleep, or enjoy activities that once brought pleasure. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.